Watch them waters. Them gators get you. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna touch about that part. Um, from sad news to even sadder news, I know there's probably plenty of people getting tired of hearing about this too. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. The Pulse shooting in Orlando. So we're gonna stay in Orlando. Just touch on another story. So a little bit about the shooter, and I know people are probably like, "Who gives a shit about the shooter?" I agree, but anyway, he was an American-born man. He pledged allegiance to ISIS, and the reports are now saying he gunned down 50. I remember hearing it was, or 49. I'm sorry. I remember hearing before it was 50, now it's 49. So I guess they miscounted, or someone was pretending to be dead until everything's good. Okay, I'm up. I'm alive. And now there's only 49. I'm not trying to make a joke out of it. I'm being for real honest here. It's just because, like I said, before the accounts were saying 50, and now they're saying 49. So he called 911 during the attack to pledge allegiance to ISIS, and mentioned the Boston Marathon bombers. Like, the cops were probably thinking to themselves, okay, you're related to them? What's this got to do with Boston Marathon? What is you calling pledging allegiance to ISIS got to do with Boston Marathon bombers? Were they related to ISIS? I don't know. I didn't dig too much into that whole story there, but so Mateen's ex-wife, I'm probably butchering that last name, but whatever. His ex-wife said she thinks he was mentally ill. I mean, she's going to start saying all kinds of crazy stuff about him, right? But he probably was, but she's going to start saying all kinds of crazy stuff. He was probably mentally ill. He didn't like to put the toilet seat down after he peed. You know, she's going to... Come on. Exes, you know, right? Exes. So, anyway, there's been no claim of responsibility for the attack on jihadi forums, but ISIS sympathizers have reacted by praising the attack on pro-Islamic State forums. Pretty much what it sounds like to me is ISIS is like, whoa, dude, that's like a little way too far. A little, we would not do that. No, that is not us. That is not us. We do not do. No, ISIS is probably sitting back saying, "Hey, you know what? That's let's get one thing clear. This is not our cup of tea. No. This is bad." And then, you know, like I said, the forums, the pro-Islamic State forums praising it. Those are probably just the wannabes, you know, saying woohoo, yeah, go us. And the actual people are like, that's a little, it's a little outside of what we believe in. That's not so much. Again, a terrible thing. Prayers to those who have lost a loved one. Just know that your loved one is somewhere safe and in harmony, and I know there's so many people. I mean, when I first heard about the shooting, honestly, my first thought, before I found out who the shooter was, my first thought was crazy white person. I'm white, so I could say this, but I mean that's what I honestly thought. I thought crazy white person. I really did. I thought crazy white Kansas church, what's that Borough Baptist Church place? You know what I'm talking about. That was my first. That's where I went to first. I was like, yeah, probably some crazy Bible Belt church person who hates all gays and, you know, wished death to all of them and just went in there and just shot them all up. And then when I found out it was who it was, I was like, really? Wow. Okay, maybe. I can kind of see that, I guess. But, wow, why? That's freaking insane, dude. That's like out of their jurisdiction, isn't it? I mean, it's fucking weird, dude. Like, I could see if maybe it was at like a Christian revival or something like that, or like a gospel revival, because their big thing is religion, and if you don't believe this, then, you know, we're going to shoot you. But I mean, that whole thing, I mean, that's like come on, bro. I mean, golly, man. Seriously? That's not what I expected. Right? You know, you're like, not quite what I expected. So, yeah, again, to the whole lesbian gay community, you know, everyone's like, wow, you're such a Christian. You know, you're a Christian. How can you be okay? Look, I love everyone, okay? I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not, you're gay, you're going to hell. I'm not, that's not for me to decide, okay? I didn't write the Bible, I just read the Bible, alright? That's all, okay? I don't judge people, okay? I've come to the conclusion that it's easier to love everyone, like the Bible says to do, than it is to, I love you, but I hate you. You know? Life's too short for grudges, guys. Seriously. If someone treats you like a dick, an ass, a cunt, a hoe, whatever, if someone treats you like shit, I mean, honestly, just smile at them and just thank them, because, I mean, their shit's coming, for real. Honestly, their shit's coming. I mean, this guy right here, he's a piece of shit for what he did. People who sit there and, stand outside abortion clinics, or stand outside, courthouses while lesbians and gays are trying to get, or lesbians, and I don't know. Do guys like to be called gay? I mean, is there a difference? Because, I mean, if a lesbian is two women loving each other, if that's the definition, then what's the definition of two guys? Is it gay? Because, I mean, aren't two women loving each other gay too? I mean, anyway, so we're getting off topic here. So anyway, those people who stand outside the courthouses and, boo the lesbians and the gays, I mean, come on, guys, really? Jeez, come on. I mean, you call yourself a Christian and, this and that, but yet here you are, booing someone. I mean, did Jesus not love did he not care for and love the hookers, right? I mean, he loved everybody, right? He served everybody. He didn't, I'm sorry, I'm getting a little preachy here, but he didn't say, well, I love you, but I hate you. He loved everyone. I mean, and if you want to call yourself Christian, you gotta love everyone. As much as it sucks, right? You gotta love everyone. Even the guy who just called in, and you gotta stay late because this dude just called in, and so you gotta put in a double shift, all because this douchebag called in. You still gotta love him. I mean, it sucks, but you do. All the drug heads, all the drunks, everybody. No matter how shitty they are in your life, you gotta love them, and it sucks. And people like this, who do stupid shit like this, who shoot up clubs, I mean, it sucks. It really does. It sucks. It's like the worst fucking thing in the world. I can only imagine. But it's going to get better for these families. It's going to get better. I mean, honestly, seriously, if losing a loved one, is the hardest, strongest test that nobody is ever prepared for, that nobody has ever studied enough for, that nobody is ever just ready to just, tackle, you can study as much as you want on how to deal with the loss of a loved one. You can practice so much how to deal with the loss of a loved one. But when that day finally comes, you're still never really prepared, and it sucks so bad. I can only imagine how horrible it is. And I feel for these families. It's a terrible thing. And as much hate as they feel for this shooter and his family and everything, I mean, there's got to be one family out there who's like, you know what? As shitty as he was, as terrible as he was, we're fucking Christians, man. And we gotta love this guy. We gotta love his family. As much as we fucking hate to, we have to love him. And it sucks, dude. I know it sucks. It's the worst fucking thing in the world to have to love someone that you absolutely, positively want to fucking hate. It sucks so bad. But you gotta love them. If you're gonna claim Christianity, you gotta love them. Because, I mean, hating them is just, I mean, how much better than them are you if you hate that? They hated your loved one. That's why they went into the club and just started opening fire, right? They hated Americans. They hated the gay community. They hated whoever the fuck they wanted to hate, right? Haters gonna hate, right? So, I mean, Why the fuck? Why would you go and join them and hate along with them? You know, well, I hate. No, God, no. Love them, man. Seriously, forgive them and love them. Look at the Pope. Look at Pope John, right? When he got assassinated, when he attempted assassination, he went and met with his assassinator in jail, and I mean, the assassinator cried to him and apologized to him, and he forgave him. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if John K. would not have died, John F. Kennedy would not have died, and I mean, survived the shooting and met with his shooter and been like, I forgive you, man. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Can you imagine? I mean, what this world would be like had he not had died, but instead forgave his. And I know, I've seen the footage. There's no way he was not going to survive, you know. But I mean, if he did, if the shot had missed and he had survived and met his shooter in person, can you imagine if he would have been like, it's all good, bro. No harm, no foul, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for opening my eyes to what I'm missing in life. Thank you. You know, man, you know, I mean, just hug your loved ones or something tonight, man. Just because who knows what's going to happen tomorrow. It could all go just like that, man. Seriously, call the ones you never call and just love them. That's all I'm saying about this whole thing. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. But stop hating people. Stop hating people, because this is what it's going to lead to. Just seriously, I tell you guys all the time, talk to someone. Talk to someone. Don't hate. Just don't do stupid shit, okay? If you're going to do stupid shit, do like the Jackass type of stupid shit. Don't do stupid shit like this where it ends up on the news because it hurt like so many people, right? Don't do that. Okay, one more story we're going to talk about, and then we're going to end on good notes. All right, I promise. So, Stanford rape case. Another horrible thing. I hate to talk about it, but we got to talk about it, right? Because it pisses off everybody. It does. It pissed me off even typing it. Again, I hate the fucking guy, and I hate the family, and I hate the judge, but I got to love him. That sucks. So the victim, check this out. The victim wrote a letter to the judge. If any of you have read this letter, you know what I'm about to read. If any of you have not heard this letter, golly, is it gut-wrenching as all fucking get. And I hope it fucking eats this kid a fucking live. Seriously. Because this is some gut-wrenching shit, and you should feel like the biggest piece of shit in the world. You should feel so much like a piece of shit. Love you, but you should really feel like a fucking piece of shit for what you've done to this girl, okay? Victim's letter to the judge. I had multiple swabs inserted into my... Again, this is not a very safe show for... In case you haven't picked it up by now, this is not a very safe show for kids, so I'm just saying that before I read this. Not a very safe show for kids or work, okay? So here we go. I had multiple swabs inserted into my vagina and anus. Needles for shots. Pills. Had a Nikon pointed right into my spread legs. I had long pointed beaks inside me and my vagina smeared with cold blue paint to check for abrasions. After a few hours of this, they let me shower. I stood there examining my body beneath the stream of water, and I decided I don't want my body anymore. This woman dealt with this by this fucking cold-hearted kid. 20-year-old fucking kid, okay? She got fucking raped by this kid, and hold on. Okay, so I was terrified of it. I didn't know what had been in it, if it had been contaminated, who had touched it. I wanted to take off my body like a jacket and leave it at the hospital with everything with everything else. I mean, who seriously, who can seriously sit there, listen to that? Hold on, because it's about to get way worse, okay? Not from her, but from the kid's standpoint. It's about to get way worse with his family and everything. You're about to get really pissed off. If that didn't piss you off, you're about to get really pissed off, okay? And you're about to be like, well, I don't care what you just said about loving people. I fucking hate this kid. So, after reading that, I thought to myself, as a parent, how could you do what you just fucking... I'm about to tell you what the kid's parents did, okay? And you're really going to hate the world. Like I said, hate the world.